Alright, welcome back. So now that you pretty much understand the very basics, we're going to start with writing simple programs. So first program we're going to make is one that computes the area of a circle. So you're going to do compute area. It's going to be a new project. Alright, you can close these. And now you're going to, in the source, you're going to make a new class, name it just compute area again. And now, so you have your class, now you have your main, wrong key, public static void main string args. Okay, so for now I'm just gonna throw a bunch of code at you and I'll explain it in a second. So let me write it. Radius double area, radius is equal to 20. Times radius times 3.14159. Alright. Now we're gonna system dot out dot print ln. Now we're gonna type in the area of a circle with the radius space plus radius is area. Alright, so yeah, it's quite a bit of code, or not really, but new code for you. So double radius means you're declaring a variable with type double. I'll go into variable types in a second. So, and you're also declaring your area. Right now you're setting radius, you're giving it the value of 20, and now area gets the value of radius times radius, which is radius squared, because if you remember, area equals radius or pi. So how would I do a pi symbol? Let's just do pi times radius squared. So area equals radius times pi, which for now we're just going to use 3.14159. And now we're going to system.out.print. So if we run it, it'll look like this. Oh, let's save it. Alright, so it returns this is 1256.636. Now let me explain down here. Now see these addition symbols? When you're using strings, which is what goes into the quotation marks, your English, when you use addition signs with strings, you're not really adding strings. It's called concatenating their concatenation signs, and what you're doing is you're putting them together. And the reason this is surrounded by spaces because you have to put in the symbol for the space, right? Because it just looked like that with the is like that. So and it can also put numbers in. It doesn't have to be text. So yeah, that is that. Now we're going to make a new project, and this is just going to be for variables. I'm going to teach you all the types. Actually, I don't really, do I have to? I don't really have to. Let's just go down here outside our void, our main. So hold on, looking over this. So declaring video or variables. Now there's different types of variables. So there's number variables, there's booleans, and there's strings. So a number variable would be like 1 or 2 or 3.5 or 3.5, sorry, or 9912354. Okay? A boolean is true or false. And then a string is in quotes. So anything in quotes is a string. So hello world. So there are different types of number. So right now I'm going to go into number variables. There are different types of each number variable. So a byte. So if I were to declare a byte, so byte x is equal to, it's an integer, so it has to be 1, or it can't have a point. So a byte is a variable, an integer, a whole number that ranges from -2, so from -2 to the 7th to 2 to the 7th, or from -128 to -127 or +127. So if you were to do byte y is equal to 900, it'll give you an error because 900 is not a byte. Byte is, and in case you're wondering, the reason is that is because byte would be an 8-bit signed variable. So it can only hold 8 bits. So if you have a number that's outside of the range of 2 to the 7th, you have more than 8 bits. If you don't understand what I mean by that, just it's binary stuff, you can look that up. So then there's a short, which is a whole number. I put short, sorry. Short, which is a whole number, and it's 16-bit. So 16, just to symbolize that it's 16-bit. Then we can put 8-bit here. 16 bits, so it goes from -2 to the 15th to 2 to the 15th, or you can say it goes, those are big numbers, never mind, I'm not going to put the big numbers there. So 16-bit, so anything that falls outside of those. And then we have integer, which is more commonly used, which is a whole number. So integer z is equal to 32. Integers are 32-bit numbers, or signed, and they go from -2 to the 31st power to 2 to the 31st power. And now there's another type of whole number called a long. Long, just make it A. Now you could probably guess it, that how many bits a long value holds. 64. So this ranges from -2 to the 63rd power to 2 to the 63rd power. Third power. Now, huge numbers. You'll probably never ever need to go beyond a long. So these are all whole numbers. You can't put 0.0 on these. It'll throw you an error. So to use numbers with decimals, you can declare a float. And those range from just float. It's short. It's like kind of like an integer, but with a decimal. So you can put 1 point that. And its float is 32 bits. And what's wrong? Oh wait, sorry. B equals. Sorry, you have to name your variable before you assign it. Oh. How far can I go? You have to put an F after a float. Sorry, I forgot about that. That's how you tell the difference between a float. You can put there. Sorry. Floats end in F. Always put F after your floats. And now there's also double. Double C equal to 1 point whatever. And those are 32 bits. Or not 32 bits, 64 bits. And these are your number variables. So what can you do with them? Well, as you can see, you can multiply them. You can add, multiply, subtract, divide, and get the remainder. So if you do float, or let's do, that's an integer I is equal to 34 plus 1. That would make I would be equal to 35. You could also put variables here, so you could do x plus y, you get 8 plus 16, which is 24. You can also do subtraction. So integer I is equal to, or let's do float, or double, sorry. Double I is equal to 34.0 minus 0.1. That will make double I equal to 33.9. You can also put variables here, so you can put x, make this an integer, so x, or let's do y minus x, so 16 minus 8, integer I would be equal to 8. And there's multiplication, integer I, you can do 300 times 2, that will return 600, or again you can do x times 2, that will be 16, x times y, I actually don't know what that is, but that will return 8 times 16. So, and you also have division, so you can do division. I'd recommend using floats and doubles with division because you don't want to screw it up. So double D, sorry, 1.0 divided by 2.0, that would return 0.5, 1/2. You can't do this, don't do that. Well, you can, but it's good to have practice putting 0.0 so you can remember that it's a double, or if it's a float you put 1.0f. Now you can also get the remainder, so let's do integer r is equal to 20, and then use a percent symbol. That's not percent, where is that? 5. Percent 3, that would return 2. Okay, so the percent operator yields the remainder after division. The left hand operand is a dividend, and the right, therefore, oh, okay, so 20 divided by 3 would be, if I know my math, it'd be, sorry, I need to get a, no, I don't need to get a calculator. What am I doing? It's 6, because then it's 18. But, so, if you remember like 4th grade multiplication, when you do, let me just get Paint open. Visual Media, Paint on it. Okay. So, if you do 20 divided by 3, let me just wait for Paint to open. It's being really slow. Should I pause while I wait? Okay, so 20, yeah, what was that? Okay, so you do, make it bigger, 20 divided, I almost just did a square root sign, divided by 3, if you remember, you do 6 minus 18, you get 2. This is the remainder. Now most of you know to just add a 0, 20, and be 6.6666666. So, but if you want just the remainder, you just get this 2. So when you do 20% 3, you get the remainder after dividing. So that's pretty cool. So, alright. So now we're going to make a program that displays the time. We're going to delete all this. This is going to be a long one because variables, there's a lot on them. Okay, so display time. Okay. Make a new class. Time, just name it time. Add your main method, string array args curly bracket. So you're going to make a variable integer seconds is equal to 500. Okay, so now integer minutes is equal to seconds over 60. Right? That's the amount of seconds. And okay, so you guys understand this simple problem. So now we want the remaining seconds, integer remaining. Why does that look so wrong? Anyway, seconds. Also, you can't put spaces in integer or in variable names. So I'll show you in a second. So it'd be seconds remainder 60. You can't do this. Don't do that. This just kind of messes it up. So if you want to put 2 words in a variable name, just capitalize it. And now we're going to system.out.print. System.out.println. Now again with the concatenation, seconds plus seconds is minutes. That's not how you spell minutes. Minutes is minutes amount of plus minutes. It's blank minutes. Why do I keep messing up? Sorry, I'm moving my mouse on a different part of my desk. And remaining seconds. Null. I'll explain null in a second. Seconds. Okay. Oops. There we go. Now there shouldn't be any errors. We can run this. Okay. And 500 seconds is 8 minutes and 20 seconds. I didn't put a space right here, so yeah. Cool. So we've basically got those kind of variables covered. Now, if you don't put a value here, so say remaining seconds, just comment this out and put a semicolon, and we try to run that, it'll give us an error because it cannot be resolved to a variable. Or you can say that it's null, there is nothing there. null means nothing in computer language. Just know that null is nothing, and sometimes some program might throw you an error saying this is null. What happened? Oh, seconds. Saying something is null, then that's the problem because there is no value. So sometimes when you want to say let's just make integer x. Now, so you know that x, you can just put x equals 3 plus 4, right? Integer x. What is wrong with that? Text error token. Let's just make this public, see if that fixes it. Nope. Whatever. That should not be a problem, but it is. So quick, okay, whatever. Integer x. X is equal to 3 plus 4, right? So that would make x equal to 7. But what if you want to make x have a value? Let's say x is equal to 3, and you want to make x equal to 7 by adding 4. So you can do x equals x plus 4. That would make x equal to 7. And sometimes in programming you have to do that a lot. So a faster way to do that is plus equals 4. And that would return x equals 7. Basically what plus equals mean is you're doing integer x, hold on. Sorry about that. X is equal to 7. So x plus equals 4 is the same thing as saying x is equal to x plus 4. And you can do the same thing with x minus equals 4. That'll make it 3 again. You can do this with any operator. X times equals 4. X divided by equals 4. And you can also do x remainder equals 4. You can do all that. That all works. Alright, cool. So also, sometimes you want to increment x plus equals 1. You want to do this or x minus equals 1. So this right here happens a lot in programming. So a quick way to do it is x plus plus or x minus minus. These are incrementers. I don't know what is going on here. It's just being weird. So x plus plus, x minus minus. This is x incremented 1, x decremented 1. So remember that. Let me see what else is here. That's pretty much all there really is. Oh, casts. Okay, so you want to cast. Casts are important. So say you have, let's just do this up here so it doesn't give me an error. Float. So you want an integer x is equal to, this thing's using sales tax. Okay, so you want price is equal to, say it's, this is a double, hold on. No, let's not use that, that's stupid. Double, let's just say you want a whole number to be the, you want a whole number to be the value returned by a division problem. So say you have double x is equal to 3.0, and you say double y is equal to 2.7564. right? So you want this to be, so let's just make a double or system.out.print, and you're just going to put x divided by y. You can do this, by the way. This is completely possible. So it returns this. But say you just want a whole number. So you'd make another variable, integer answer is equal to x divided by y. But wait a second, that gives us an error. So you can either change this to a double and just suck it up and get this, or you can tell the computer to do this but cast an integer. This is called a cast. There we go. You put it right before. Oh, sorry. You have to put the entire expression in parentheses. Why is it wrong? Add cast to integer. So a cast, let's just make this an integer so it doesn't be stupid. A cast basically tells the computer, take what you just did and make it, okay, that's weird. Anyway, and make it, oh, I see. Let's just, I'm sorry. 3/2, that's a double anyways. So see, this returns an error. Oh, okay. Hold on, sorry. I'm trying to think of good examples of this. It returns 1 because it just makes it an, but say you want the exact answer. So you'd make this a double, right? Double answer. Anyways, so if you ever need an integer to be a double, you just cast it and it just tells the computer that it's an integer and it just returns this, basically. So that's that. I think that's all I really need to tell you about in this numeric variables lesson. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.